I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know. And he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky jerky.
And Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know. so I don't know. I think that's a lot of weight class jump.
But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening.
After witnessing Canelo Alvarez's brutal training footage, boxing pros have just warned Terence Crawford not to fight him. On the other hand, Roy Jones Jr. said he does not worry about the weight difference between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. He believes that when a fighter is as skilled as Crawford, size becomes less important. The only question, he said, is whether Crawford can absorb punches at a higher weight. Jones is confident he can, noting that Crawford has likely sparred with super middleweights and light heavyweights in training. He explained that true skill carries up with a fighter as they move through weight classes. According to Jones, it is not about how big each fighter is, but about the level of skill they bring into the ring.
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch. And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. When you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT, I went out with a heavyweight.
No, it's a lot of the people, which is why I brought up, would use the weight as an advantage for Canelo. But I agree, and you're right. Canelo fights obviously taller fighters all the time and wins. It's about skill as opposed to, a lot of the time anyway, as opposed to weight.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, I'm not really worried about the weight. I'm worried about the skill level that they use.
Robert Garcia said that many people are underestimating Terence Crawford because of the clear size difference between him and Canelo Alvarez, but he does not see it that way. He believes Crawford has what it takes to compete, including fast hands and smart footwork. While Canelo is powerful and very experienced, Garcia thinks Crawford's sharp timing and all-around ability make the fight very winnable for him. He explained that even though Canelo still gets victories, he no longer challenges himself or mixes things up the way he used to. Instead, Canelo seems to fight just hard enough to win, and Garcia believes that could allow Crawford to take the upper hand.
It's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give Crawford.
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. You know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, he does his work. He gets work done, but
Garcia also shared that Canelo now looks like a fighter focused more on business than passion. He said in Canelo's most recent performance, he appeared slower, stood flat-footed, and depended more on single punches than pressure or combinations. Garcia thinks that lack of urgency could benefit Crawford, especially if he stays sharp and uses his movement wisely. Looking at where both men are in their careers, Garcia feels Crawford truly has a strong chance to win the fight.
But never does that little extra to please or to he knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good footwork, you know, Canelo is flat-footed. He you know, his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes, throw combinations of 4 to 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving Crawford a big chance of maybe pulling it up.
Dmitry Bivol said he has never seen Terence Crawford in person, so he cannot say for sure how big Crawford actually is. However, he emphasized that from the start of his boxing career, he was taught to respect weight classes because size plays a major role in boxing. Still, Bivol praised Crawford's abilities and called him one of his favorite current fighters, showing strong respect for his talent and skill.
To be honest, I didn't see, I think, Crawford in real life. I don't know how big he is. But the size, you know, when I came to boxing gym and my coach told me that one of the rules it's like respect the weight classes. You know, you should respect weight classes. But he has a very good skill. He's one of my favorite fighters, active fighters now.
Brian Norman Sr., another significant boxing figure, firmly believes that Crawford will defeat Canelo and that this is his era. Like many others, he also said he was completely confident he could manage the jump to 168 pounds with ease. Norman noted his long-standing support for him, stating he's always been on his side. He stated unequivocally that he will not be influenced by public opinion this time either. He believes that Crawford is a genuinely exceptional fighter because of his skills and ability. Norman is confident that he can defeat Canelo and anyone else.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford. What are your thoughts on that? You know, a lot of people are not giving Terence enough credit. They think that he's going to step into, you know, the lion's den. What are your thoughts?
I'm always going with my dog Crawford, man. I'm with Crawford, man. I'm Crawford. I'm team Crawford all the way, and I'm not just saying that, you know, for no other reason. I just think he's a great fighter. This is his era right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. He's a very great role model.
Yeah. Man, everything about Crawford is solid so far, so I'm going with Crawford.
Ryan Garcia said that while great things can happen when two elite fighters face off, he doesn't see Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez. He admitted Crawford could prove him wrong, but believes the size difference will be a major factor. Garcia, who has trained with Canelo, noted that Canelo is strong enough to push back heavyweights and pointed out this is the first time in a while Canelo will be the naturally bigger man. He feels that will allow Canelo to fight more freely and effectively. Although he respects Crawford's skills, Garcia said he would put his money on Canelo.
When you have two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweights. So I don't know how he's like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo Alvarez.
Mike Tyson shared that he doesn't like the idea of Terence Crawford calling out Canelo Alvarez, mainly because of the size difference. He said there's just too much weight between them and it's not a good matchup for Crawford. Tyson pointed to Crawford's recent close fight with Israel Madrimov, saying Madrimov was big, awkward, and difficult to deal with. He felt Crawford shouldn't have taken that fight, suggesting he would have looked better against someone who comes straight forward rather than someone with such an unorthodox, jerky style.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know. And he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
Want to know.
Moreover, former multi-division world champion Shane Mosley offered a confident prediction in support of Canelo for the forthcoming bout. Mosley acknowledged that Crawford is a very skilled boxer who can defeat anyone, but he predicts Canelo will win in the end. He lauded his abilities and expressed his happiness if he prevails on September 13th. He reckons Canelo won't have any trouble with the challenge though. He predicts that he should win as long as he follows his typical strategy. Canelo's strength and experience at 168 are important considerations for Mosley.
I think it'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know, they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. But the only thing is, Canelo has them by two-weight division. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mental, my mind's telling me that Canelo's gonna probably beat him.
Mosley added that for Crawford to win, he might need to create a slower paced fight with smart movement and distance control. He explained that using space doesn't mean running, and if Crawford can stay just outside the pocket and avoid heavy exchanges, he might pull off the upset. Still, Mosley leaned toward Canelo, praising Crawford as a real fighter, but warning that the jump in weight could be too much.
I think that maybe, I don't have to be all the way boring, but maybe it has to be boring spots. Yeah. So just because he's moving around and keeping his distance don't mean that he's running, right? Yeah. So if he can move and just stay a little bit outside the pocket long enough, then maybe he can win. But I'm thinking Canelo's gonna win. I think Canelo's gonna get a fight because Crawford is a fighter. He's a true fighter. He's a real fighter, but he's in a wrong weight division.
Antonio Tarver shared his perspective on a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, saying the size difference would not be the key factor. He explained that Canelo is not much taller or more physically imposing than Crawford, especially when compared to other super middleweights. Tarver emphasized that the outcome would be decided by skill rather than size. He also questioned whether Canelo's recent opponents have truly prepared him for someone with Crawford's speed, precision, and all-around ability.
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill. And both of them coming with their skills. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grinding, turn back the hands of times too.
Tarver added that Canelo needs to look like the aggressive and sharp fighter who defeated Caleb Plant to have a real chance. He noted that Canelo's recent fights showed less speed, fewer combinations, and less intensity. According to Tarver, only a focused and relentless Canelo can challenge Crawford fully. Still, he believes Crawford has a strong chance to win, even if Canelo performs at his best. Ultimately, Tarver thinks the outcome depends on whether Crawford can withstand Canelo's power. If he can, Crawford will likely come out on top.
Because if he show up like he did against Skull, he show up like he did against Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Berlanga, and the other guy. What's the other guy name?
Munguia.
Munguia, bro. Those guys, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely gonna have to get used to that power. If he can take Canelo power, he gonna win the fight.
That's kind of the question of it, right?
If he can take that power,
Lonnie B remains confident that Canelo will win the fight and says nothing has changed his mind. He expects the early rounds to be competitive, but believes Canelo will take control as the fight progresses. While acknowledging Crawford as a skilled boxer, Lonnie noted that Israel Madrimov caused problems for him. He thinks moving up from 160 to 168 pounds will be challenging for Crawford, especially since Canelo is likely to weigh around 200 pounds on fight night. Lonnie also pointed out that Canelo has never been stopped and doubts Crawford can keep him at bay.
I think you favor Canelo to win the fight?
Yeah.
Has anything changed from then? Is it now closer?
No.
Has it not changed?
Nope.
Nothing.
I think it's gonna be a good fight for the first 4 rounds. I think Canelo's size just gonna, take over. Like I said, I could be wrong. Crawford's phenomenal, but from what I've seen with the kid Maktrinoff and the way he gave him trouble moving up 2 more weight classes, 60 to 68, and Canelo gonna come in about damn near 200 pounds. I just think I also think Canelo's never been stopped, and I don't think he's gonna be able to keep Canelo off of him.
Teofimo Lopez said that while he had been favoring Canelo, he now thinks Crawford might shock people. He explained that the spotlight is on Crawford, especially with fans eager to see how he performs after jumping 2 weight classes. Teofimo mentioned Crawford's fight against Majima last year as an important step, but also raised a red flag. He said Crawford's habit of only fighting once a year could be a major issue in a challenge of this size and intensity.
I've been saying Canelo, but I think Crawford might pull something. You know? Why? I think that the odds are in his favor as far as that. You know, the reason why people are going to tune in is not just because of Canelo. It's going to be mainly because of the Crawford. How is he going to do going up, you know, 2 more weight classes? You know, especially after the Maljima fight that he had in, last year? Mm-hmm. I think that's the problem, though. Crawford is fighting too many. He's not fighting a lot. He's fighting once every year. That's bad.
Dmitry Bivol, who defeated Canelo Alvarez, spoke about Terence Crawford moving up 2 weight classes to 168 pounds. Initially uncertain about Crawford handling the size difference, Bivol said after seeing him in Dubai recently, Crawford looked bigger and demonstrated excellent boxing skills. He called Crawford one of his favorite fighters and believes he has a real chance to win.
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah? Or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him, he's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight.
Bivol also mentioned several uncertainties, emphasizing that Crawford must adapt to the increased power and pressure at the higher weight. He explained that the outcome depends on how Crawford feels on fight night and the quality of his training camp. Bivol added that Crawford's ability to switch between 2 different boxing styles gives him a valuable edge.
But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's different, big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able. He has good skills. He's awkward. He can use 2 boxing stands. It gives him benefits, of course.
Bob Arum pointed out that the large weight difference will be an important factor in the fight. While he praised Canelo's skill level, Arum believes Crawford's overall boxing ability is more refined. Despite Crawford having to give up a significant amount of weight, Arum said he would lean toward Crawford if he had to bet because of his exceptional talent. However, he acknowledged that the size gap could still affect the outcome.
Or is it just 50-50?
It's very, very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's given away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight, so that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
Jaron Ennis discussed the difficulty Crawford might face in adding 14 pounds for a potential matchup with Canelo. He explained that gaining this weight could slow Crawford down and impact his performance, making it hard to predict how well Crawford will adapt until the fight takes place.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you got to, what are you going to have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds? So he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that. So it's a little harder, but I don't know. You know, we'll see on fight night how he'll look.
Jim Lampley said Crawford has a genuine chance to defeat Canelo by using a smart strategy focused on speed, movement, and quick combinations. He noted that this approach requires strong stamina, which Crawford has. Lampley believes if Crawford remains disciplined and maintains a high pace, he could win the fight.
You get out, get in, do damage, get out, and keep doing it over and over. It's an exhausting way to fight. You've got to have the conditioning to do it. But if Terence has the right conditioning, and he has never been under condition, he's always been in great shape. If Terence has the right condition and can get in and get out, oh heck yes, he has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about Canelo versus Crawford upcoming clash? We would love to hear your thoughts on this. So share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.